Hello, Professor. This is my journal video for session number 3, discussing some of the things of the deity of Christ, the nature of his humanity, and also some chapters on sin, if I recall correctly. Um, just have to say, since this is the type of journal entry, there is so much material in the chapters that we read, and it seems to me that each chapter itself should deserve its own week per se, to just to be able to internalize much of these, just all the amount of information, the scripture references, the ideas, and all that. So anyway, it's a lot, but enjoying it moving forward. So just some of the things that struck me again, picking the two that are very relevant, I guess, in my life is the first one, as I think I mentioned in the last video, just the fact of Jesus' deity and having discussions with people about the divinity of Christ, finding references, proving that as much as we can anyway, some things could not have been done by a mere man. Things like forgiving sin, raising from the dead. There is so much evidence, especially from apologetic standpoint, that Christ did rise from the dead. So many scholars now agree to it, even non-Christian scholars. So that's still a big one in my life, and it is still to today when speaking to people and having discussions and conversations, especially with Muslims. The other one was the image of God. This is something that has helped me in the past year, about a year and a half or so, and it's the idea that we all carry the image of God. Um, it has helped me in a very direct way, sort of to relate to others in that same way. I don't know why, but I didn't grow up a believer, and I was sort of indirectly taught that people are different. Um, some people come from different cultures. People have more money. People have less money. People are more deserving of things than others are, and so these type of things are difficult that I still had to battle once I became a believer. And so the image of God, knowing that every human being here, whether they know Him personally or not, whether they are from another faith, another country, higher, lower social class, or whatever it may be, still bears the image of God. And that idea really helps for me, someone who's admittedly a type of introvert who's not so easily called to talk to people and begin conversations. That really helps to bridge that gap and make that connection, that brother over there, that sister over there, regardless of her age, of his age, of where he comes from, what he does, still bears the image of God. And whether he knows it or not, he bears that image. And that's been a true um, a truth that has done wonders, literally wonders in my life for that. And so one other thing regarding, as I'm reminded of that incident in Mark 12 when Jesus asked to bring a coin, and he asked the Pharisee whose image is on that coin. It's an awesome story. And he said, well, it's Caesar's. And then Jesus responds, well, give to Caesar's what is Caesar's and give to God what is God's. And I heard an amazing apologist once say, well, the man should have had a follow-up question and asked, well, what belongs to God? Which naturally the response would have been, well, whose image is on you? Very powerful to recognize and to realize that. Some of the things that I learned reading these chapters are some of the early church heresies. I know that there were so many more than Mr. Erickson mentioned in the chapters, but I am very interested in these things. But again, it's a question of time and just being able to dig into what the heresies have been throughout church history in the last 200 years. Two that I noted here was the word Docetism. Again, an attack on humans, Jesus' humanity. It says that he had only appeared to be human to them. And the other one I've never heard of before, which was Apollinarianism, which is that Jesus was not fully human. He just took on aspects of humanity. It's very interesting. So I don't know many of these traditional heresies and who did it, what did they specifically say, and how did the church overcome those things. So um, those are something that I definitely learned this week throughout that reading. And I guess going back to what the last question is what do I still not understand? And I would have to probably relate it back to the heresies. And it's not so much that I don't understand or haven't heard of those things; I just haven't had time to dig in deep enough to those things that I certainly would like to. Again, perhaps if we had 1 week per chapter, I could eternalize this information so much, but we're going so quickly. But it's what it is. So I'm enjoying it. So I look forward to next week's reading, and we'll see where we go from there. Thank you.